managing columns in NZgrapher and maybe creating new variables. Here we've got alcohol data, millions of litres of beer, spirits and wine, and the population. So we're going to mainly use the sample and more, and we're going to create a new variable, and we can add them together. So we could add the beer, that's a plus, and then we can add in the spirits, say, and we'll create a new one. It'll give us a new column. If we want we can only seem to create with 2 new. So if I take that one, leave that on a plus, and add the wine consumption, create. Now this is everything, and I'll just do a little edit there, and I'll just call it total alcohol, and then I'll go save changes. So now I've got a new column that is just a combination of those 3 together. So if I'll get myself set up for time series, because this is the context we'd use this in, I'm going to have quarter there. In the meantime, I could start maybe with beer and millions of litres there. But if I wanted to see like what proportion, whether it's changed the proportion, say, of spirits making up the whole thing. So has spirits become more popular, with RTDs, something like that. So create a new variable. I'll take the spirits in millions of litres, and here I'll divide, and here I'll put that total one. So now I'll think of that as a fraction, amount of spirits consumed divided by the total. So what proportion are the spirits making up? And then I'll create that. That'll give me a new variable. If I graph that, I get that. And that tells us quite a simple story, that the proportion of alcohol consumed over that time frame has the proportion that spirits has increased. Another thing that's quite good, we've got the population here, and that's not an accident. So if I want to look at per person rates, which might be more helpful because this data starts in 2000, I can use the same idea, create new variable, and again I'm going to use division. So I'm going to take the amount of wine consumed, I'll divide it, again that's on the right side, and I'll divide that out of the population. So now it's going to take that amount of litres of wine and divide it across the number of people there at the time. Now that creates another variable. I have to go down here and select it, and actually the long-term trend, not a big change. It sort of increased up to about 2012, 2014, but it actually looks like the average per person consumption of wine is tapering off. So this just gives us the ability to look at the data differently, and it can be quite helpful.